Chosen one, October 10th. Unexpected repayment miracle come to you. Be ready. There are days that pass like any other, and there are days when heaven moves, days when divine balance begins to shift, days when everything you thought was delayed suddenly comes racing toward you, not by coincidence, but by divine design. October 10th is one of those days. You've waited, you've trusted, you've endured, and now the energy of repayment is activated. The scales of heaven are turning, and everything you've poured out, your time, your love, your patience, your tears, is beginning to return in multiplied form. Every seed you thought had vanished has been growing quietly underground, and now the soil begins to move. You are standing in the vibration of divine return, a frequency that only the faithful can feel. You didn't lose. You were investing in a harvest that required time, alignment, and readiness. The universe never forgets what was given in truth. Every act of kindness, every silent prayer, every sacrifice made in love, they are all being counted, measured, and returned. Before we continue, I want you to do something simple but powerful. Watch this video until the very end. Let every word speak to your spirit. And if this message finds a place within you, I invite you to comment your warmest wishes and type 144 below. This number carries the vibration of completion, manifestation, and divine repayment. As you write it, you're sending a signal into the universe, aligning yourself with the current of blessings that are already moving toward you. Together, our combined intention multiplies the flow of miracles. Now, chosen one, let's talk about what this moment truly means. You are entering a divine cycle of repayment. But this isn't about material things alone. This is deeper. This is about restoration, of joy, of peace, of confidence, of divine alignment. The kind of miracle that doesn't just change your circumstances, but transforms your state of being. The divine is saying, you've carried the weight long enough. You've given more than enough. Now, receive repayment miracles often arrive disguised as coincidences, a message you weren't expecting, an opportunity you didn't chase, a person returning with gratitude, a door opening where you once faced rejection. The energy of October 10th is acceleration, the shift from waiting to receiving, from faith to fruition. Everything that felt suspended in the unseen is now moving into the visible. The repayment isn't only financial, it's emotional, spiritual, relational. The energy you've released in love is finding its way back home to you. But you must be ready to receive it. Because divine repayment isn't passive, it's participatory. The universe can only deliver what you're prepared to hold. That means your mindset, your energy, and your heart must align with receiving. You can't hold bitterness and expect blessings. You can't hold resentment and expect renewal. Release the weight. The divine can't fill hands that are still clinging to the past. You may have thought certain seasons were wasted, but nothing given in love is ever lost. Energy always returns to its source. And you, the chosen one, are that source. The universe has been gathering everything you've released, refining it, multiplying it, and now it's being sent back to you in forms that will overwhelm you with grace. You won't just be repaid, you'll be restored, not only to where you were before, but to where you were always meant to be. Understand this. Divine repayment doesn't always arrive through the same people or channels you gave to. The one who betrayed you may never apologize. The job that rejected you may never call. But the divine will find other routes, unexpected routes, to deliver what's yours. The energy must balance itself, even if the delivery changes form. You may not recognize the blessing immediately, but when it arrives, something inside you will say, "This is it. This is what the waiting was for," and you'll know it's divine, because it will come with peace. The energy of the repayment miracle isn't chaotic. It's calm. It doesn't rush. It flows. It doesn't beg for your attention. It quietly confirms itself. When it arrives, it won't feel like you're fighting for it. It'll feel like it's been looking for you. Because it has. Every vibration you've sent into the universe was a signal. Every act of love was a message. Every prayer was a seed. And now, the harvest has found your frequency. October 10th is the convergence point. It's where divine mathematics completes its equation. It's the day when unseen balance becomes seen breakthrough. It's the moment where you realize that nothing you gave was in vain. Your patience was currency. Your faith was investment. Your endurance was preparation. The divine operates in rhythm, not randomness. And in that rhythm, October 10th is a crescendo, a swell of energy where long-delayed blessings rush forward, carried by the force of divine justice. You may feel an inner shift, sudden peace, unexpected joy, a strange calm that feels like clarity. That's how you know it's close. That's how you know repayment is unfolding. But here's something important. Don't block the blessing by doubting its arrival. The divine doesn't operate through doubt. It flows through trust. And the universe won't release what you're resisting. So when you feel that rising anticipation, that quiet knowing, don't question it. Don't try to figure out how or when. Simply say, "I'm ready. I receive." You've been walking through seasons of silence, wondering if your effort was ever seen. You've prayed in private, fought battles no one knew about, and yet you stayed kind. You stayed true. That's what qualifies you. Not perfection, persistence. You didn't quit when you could have. You didn't harden your heart when the world tried to. You kept your light on. And that light has called the repayment miracle into motion. This repayment won't just return what you lost. It'll return what you became through loss. Strength, wisdom, vision, clarity. The divine doesn't pay you for what you lost. It rewards you for who you became. The chosen never walk away empty. What you thought broke, you actually built you into someone who can now hold more power, more peace, more purpose. So as this energy unfolds, prepare yourself. Things will begin to move quickly. Opportunities will appear. Connections will form. Resources will unlock. The divine doesn't move in fragments. It moves in floods. But you must stay grounded in gratitude. Gratitude stabilizes the flow. The more thankful you are for the small returns, the faster the larger ones arrive. Because the repayment miracle isn't just something that happens to you, it's something that happens through you. You're the vessel, the receiver, the proof. The divine uses you to demonstrate what alignment looks like. And when others see the grace on your life, they'll realize that energy always finds its source. This is the energy of October 10th. The return. The divine repayment. The floodgate moment. The energy of repayment doesn't move through logic. It moves through alignment. You won't be able to explain it. You'll only feel it. You'll sense a shift in your reality. a quiet rearranging behind the scenes. Doors that were sealed begin to unlock. Messages that were delayed begin to appear. People who once overlooked you suddenly remember your name. This is how divine order operates, silently, strategically, flawlessly. Nothing forced, nothing random, everything precise. This moment is the result of a universal balance being restored. When you give without expectation, the universe keeps a record. Every word of encouragement, every act of love, every time you gave even when it hurt, that energy never disappears. It accumulates. It builds momentum in the unseen until the right vibration aligns with it. October 10th is that vibration. The divine is saying, now is the time. Release the return. And when that release happens, it doesn't come in pieces. It comes in waves. You'll feel it before you see it. That's how you'll know it's near. You might wake up feeling unusually calm, peaceful, or expectant. You might sense that something good is forming, but can't quite name it yet. That's your spirit aligning before your eyes can comprehend it. Energy always manifests internally before it reveals itself externally. This repayment miracle isn't only about money or possessions. It's about restoration of balance in every dimension of your life. It's about divine justice, correcting every energetic imbalance that once caused you pain. The people who wronged you will not define your story. The delays that frustrated you were never denials. They were divine protection. The seasons that felt like endings were actually recalibrations. The divine never subtracts without preparing to multiply. You must remember, chosen one, the repayment miracle is not a one-time event. It's the beginning of a new flow. Once this door opens, it will stay open as long as you stay aligned. Alignment doesn't mean perfection. It means awareness. It means you keep your focus on what feels like peace, what feels like truth, what feels like expansion. The moment you move in fear or frustration, you disconnect from the flow. But the instant you return to gratitude and trust, the current finds you again. You'll know the repayment energy is moving because synchronicities will start surrounding you. You'll see repeating numbers, 111, 144, 888, each a sign that your vibration is harmonizing with divine law. You'll overhear conversations that speak directly to what you've been praying for. You'll receive sudden inspiration, clarity, or intuitive nudges guiding you toward the right actions. Follow them. Don't second-guess. Divine repayment requires participation. The universe meets you halfway. It provides opportunities, not handouts. You must move when the signal comes. There will also be moments of emotional release. You may feel tears rise without warning, or a deep sigh leaving your body. Don't suppress it. That's your spirit clearing space for the incoming blessings. You're releasing old energy that can no longer coexist with abundance. The repayment miracle requires an empty vessel, not a cluttered one. Every emotion you let go of is an invitation for something greater to enter. Many of the things that once caused you pain will begin to make sense now. You'll realize that certain people had to leave so divine repayment could find you directly. If they had stayed, the energy would have had to go through them, and they weren't meant to carry your blessing. So the divine rerouted the flow. It's not rejection, it's redirection. Nothing was stolen from you. Everything meant for you was simply delayed until you were ready to receive it without fear. The repayment miracle also works through time, collapsing it. What would have taken years will now take weeks. What seemed far will suddenly appear close. This is divine acceleration. It's not that the universe suddenly decided to bless you, it's that your energy finally became clear enough to allow it. You've done the work, the clearing, the forgiving, the releasing. You've matured spiritually, emotionally, and energetically. That's why this is your time. You've become the version of yourself who can hold what you once prayed for. And the divine takes delight in restoring balance. It's not just about giving back. It's about returning. It multiplied. That's the nature of divine mathematics. The return always exceeds the release. You'll receive not only what you gave, but also what you grew through. The pain refined you. The patience expanded you. The waiting shaped you. The divine rewards growth, not just effort. Every tear you cried added interest to your blessing. Every time you stayed soft in a hard season, you raised your spiritual credit. Now repayment comes with divine interest. But hear this, the divine won't release your blessings into confusion. That's why you've been isolated. That's why some things slowed down. The universe needed you still enough to receive clearly. Abundance flows through order, not chaos. So if you've been in a quiet season, know that it wasn't punishment, it was positioning. You were being aligned so that when the repayment arrives, it doesn't overwhelm you, it empowers you. You'll notice that as the energy increases, so does your sensitivity. Your intuition will heighten. You'll feel vibrations, energy shifts, emotional signals from others. That's because you're stepping into spiritual maturity, becoming a vessel of refined awareness. You'll sense who's genuine and who's not. You'll feel when a space supports your energy and when it drains it. This discernment is part of your wealth. Protect it. October 10th symbolizes balance. 10 and 10, mirroring divine symmetry. It's a portal number, representing both completion and new beginning. The repayment miracle is not just about getting something back. It's about stepping into the next version of your destiny with clean energy, open hands, and elevated consciousness. You're being given what's yours, so that you can build what's next. You must also understand, repayment is not revenge. The divine does not operate through punishment, but through balance. Those who hurt you will not be destroyed. They'll be awakened. Their awareness will be their correction. You don't need to seek validation or justice. You are justice in motion. The energy that once broke you now bows before you. You win by rising, not by retaliating. As this energy flows, you'll feel a deep sense of calm settle in your body. That's the moment you'll know the transaction is complete. The divine has balanced the scales. What you once chased will begin chasing you. What you once prayed for will start calling your name. Opportunities will appear without struggle. You'll feel yourself walking in divine ease, not because life suddenly became simple, but because you did. This is how divine repayment unfolds, quietly, precisely, powerfully. It begins as a whisper and ends as a flood. You may not see the full picture on October 10th, but that's the activation date. The current begins there. From that day forward, the flow continues. Each act of faith keeps it alive. So, chosen one, stay awake. Be still but alert. When the opportunity presents itself, when the nudge comes, when peace guides you, move. The universe has already written your name on blessings that have been waiting for the signal. That signal is your readiness. And now, you are ready. The moment repayment begins, your energy becomes a living magnet. Every thought, word, and emotion starts interacting with the current of divine flow. What you think expands. What you speak shapes form. What you feel attracts experience. This is why, after the miracle activates, awareness becomes your greatest currency. The divine has already sent the repayment. Your responsibility now is to maintain alignment so that it continues multiplying. The energy of divine return moves like water, fluid, reflective, responsive. If your vibration remains clear, it moves freely. But if fear, doubt, or guilt enter your energy field, the current slows. The universe isn't punishing you. It's responding to your resonance. So from now on, your practice is stillness. Peace isn't passive, it's power. Each time you return to calm, you open the flow again. That's the secret to sustaining abundance, not by forcing, but by allowing. You'll notice that your environment begins to mirror your new vibration. People may act differently around you, sensing your shift. Some will be drawn closer. Others will quietly drift away. Don't chase anyone. Your energy is refining itself, and not everyone is meant to accompany you into the frequency of overflow. When certain energies leave, it's not loss, it's alignment. The divine never removes without replacing. Every departure makes room for deeper connections that resonate with your new vibration of grace and reward. To stabilize this energy, you must live consciously. Pay attention to what you consume, not just food, but conversations, thoughts, emotions. Everything has vibration. Everything enters your field. Choose light. Choose peace. Choose gratitude. Each of those choices is a spiritual investment. Gratitude, especially, is the frequency of continuation. It's the language of abundance. When you say, "Thank you," you tell the universe, "I am open for more." In this stage, the divine will begin expanding your awareness about what true repayment means. You'll start realizing that blessings don't just return in kind, they return in kindness. Someone may show up to help you at just the right time. A situation that once felt impossible may resolve itself without conflict. A closed door may open in a way that feels too precise to be coincidence. These are signs that the divine is managing details behind the scenes. You don't need to chase the outcome. You only need to remain available to it. When the repayment flows in, resist the urge to question it. The human mind often doubts miracles because they seem too easy. You'll hear thoughts whisper, "Do I really deserve this?" Or, "What if it doesn't last?" That's the residue of your old vibration speaking. Do not entertain it. Speak to it with authority. I am worthy of every good thing unfolding in my life. I am aligned with divine flow. I am the continuation of abundance. The divine only gives where worthiness is acknowledged. When you accept the blessing with confidence, you confirm your partnership with creation itself. You may also find your intuition sharpening during this time. Repayment energy heightens awareness. It's as if the divine is saying, "Now that you've received, let me show you how to maintain." You'll sense inner guidance pulling you toward new routines, new disciplines, new opportunities. Follow those nudges. They are not random. They are divine maintenance instructions, ways to keep your energy tuned to abundance. Understand, chosen one, that every miracle carries within it a lesson. The repayment miracle teaches stewardship. The divine doesn't simply return what was lost. It teaches you how to hold it wisely. What once slipped through your hands will now remain because you've learned emotional stability. You're no longer reacting from scarcity. You're responding from security. That's why this return is different from any you've experienced before. It's not fleeting. It's foundational. You are not the same person who first asked for the blessing. Back then, you were learning faith. Now, you're learning flow. This is the difference between receiving a gift and becoming a conduit. When you become the conduit, the supply never ends. You stop asking, "When will it come?" and start living, "It's always here." That's the consciousness of the chosen, eternal access to divine abundance. But know this, with every rise comes a test. The divine doesn't test to punish, but to strengthen your vibration. After you've received, life may bring small moments to ensure you've learned the lesson. An unexpected bill, a brief conflict, a delay. They are not regressions, they are confirmations. The question in those moments will always be the same. Will you respond with fear or faith? Every time you choose peace, you prove to the universe that the blessing is safe with you. You'll feel the difference inside your body. Where you once felt anxiety, you'll now feel calm. Where you once felt lack, you'll feel trust. Your nervous system will begin to settle because your soul finally believes it's safe to receive. That's when you'll understand that divine repayment isn't only financial or circumstantial, it's biological. It's the healing of your energy, the rewiring of your system to match abundance. You are literally being rebuilt into someone who magnetizes miracles with ease. This ease isn't laziness, it's mastery. It's the realization that you are one with the rhythm of divine exchange. You no longer grasp, you glow. You no longer push, you pull. You no longer plead, you partner. The chosen don't fight for flow, they become it. And here's the secret. When you stabilize in this vibration, everything begins to respond to you differently. The divine aligns resources to your needs before you even ask. Opportunities locate you. Solutions arrive before the problem fully appears. You become the axis of divine timing, the place where miracles meet manifestation. You'll feel it in your everyday life, the right call at the right time, the unexpected support, the gentle synchronicity. None of it is random. It's repayment in motion. The more you acknowledge this flow, the stronger it grows. Gratitude is the amplifier. Speak your thanks constantly, not only for the visible blessings, but also for what's unfolding behind the veil. The universe responds to recognition. When you recognize the divine multiplies your recognition. October 10th is not just a date. It's an awakening. It's the moment the divine teaches you that repayment is not a transaction, but a transformation. You're no longer just the receiver of blessings, you've become the rhythm through which blessings move. Your role now is to stay balanced. Keep your emotions stable. Keep your mind clear. Keep your focus loving. You are learning how to live in perpetual overflow, where giving and receiving are one motion, an endless inhale and exhale of grace. You've entered a new vibration where repayment is not something you wait for. It's something you embody. The chosen do not chase abundance. They radiate it. So when the next wave of blessings arrives, and it will, don't be surprised. Don't shrink. Smile. Breathe. Receive. You've earned this through alignment, through endurance, through faith. The universe didn't forget you. It was waiting for you to become ready. And now, you are. When divine repayment begins flowing through you, something extraordinary happens. You become the evidence of heaven's precision. You stop talking about faith, and you start embodying it. The divine doesn't just give you a miracle, it makes you a living example of what alignment looks like. People around you begin to feel your shift without you saying a word. You'll notice them watching, curious about the peace that surrounds you, the ease that follows you, the glow that cannot be explained. That's because the divine repayment doesn't just add wealth to your life, it adds weight to your presence. You become a walking signal to others that divine timing is real. Every conversation you have starts carrying energy. Every space you enter feels lighter. Every word you speak begins planting seeds in the minds of others. You're no longer waiting for signs. You are the sign. And your energy begins awakening those still asleep in lack, fear, and doubt. This is where the divine begins expanding your influence, not as status, but as service. You'll feel inspired to share, to create, to give. The repayment flowing into you naturally seeks expression. Energy never stays still. It must circulate. The more you give, from alignment, not obligation, the greater the flow becomes. Because giving and receiving are the same motion seen from two sides. You exhale so you can inhale again. You release so more can arrive. This is the divine rhythm of abundance. But here's what most never understand. The chosen don't give to get. They give because they have. They know that their supply is endless. That's why you'll start feeling called to help others rise, not from pity, but from power. You'll speak life into others, not because you're trying to fix them, but because you see their divine potential. Your presence itself will begin to activate prosperity in those around you. You'll notice people suddenly finding clarity, opportunities, or breakthroughs after being in your energy. That's the divine repayment flowing through you now. You've become a channel. And as that happens, the universe will trust you with more. The divine gives expansion to those who expand others. This is how wealth multiplies, not through hoarding, but through circulation. What you share in light returns in strength. What you give in love returns in elevation. The chosen rise by helping others remember who they are. You're not here just to receive repayment. You're here to become it. To live in such harmony with divine flow that your life itself becomes a miracle others can witness. As you step deeper into this awareness, your relationship with time changes. You'll stop rushing. You'll stop worrying about when things will happen, because you'll finally realize everything is already in motion. Nothing meant for you can pass you by. This knowing creates calm, and that calm becomes your magnet. Abundance loves peace. It cannot flow in chaos. So each time you breathe deeply, each time you trust the unfolding, you draw more of what's already yours closer. The divine will begin guiding you through symbols and sensations. You may wake up at specific times like 4:44 or 1:44, numbers carrying the vibration of structure and manifestation. You may see your dreams become more vivid, filled with imagery that reflects the next stage of your expansion. You may hear whispers of encouragement through songs, signs, or chance conversations. Nothing is random anymore. You're tuned into divine frequency now, and it's speaking to you in every possible way. You'll also feel moments of detachment, not from life, but from the old version of yourself. That's because the repayment miracle isn't just about receiving new things, it's about releasing old identities. You're shedding the parts of you that believed survival was your only option. You're no longer operating from scarcity. You've stepped into sufficiency. And that means some old habits, patterns, and even people will begin to fade. Don't mourn them. Celebrate the evolution. Every release is a reward in disguise. This new vibration teaches you emotional neutrality, the power to remain steady no matter what's happening externally. When a delay comes, you'll no longer panic. When something unexpected happens, you'll smile and say, "It's still aligning." That calmness is the signature of mastery. It's proof that your nervous system now matches divine timing. You've become synchronized with abundance itself, and soon you'll notice that your desires change. The things that once excited you may feel small now. You'll crave experiences that feed your soul, not your ego. You'll choose peace over pressure, authenticity over applause. This is the purification of prosperity. Divine wealth doesn't just fill your hands, it fills your heart. You no longer need to prove your worth through achievements. Your very being radiates worthiness. That's why this phase feels lighter, because you've finally remembered who you are without the weight of striving. You'll begin to attract relationships rooted in authenticity, people who see you for your essence, not your image. You'll draw in collaborators, mentors, and friends who operate at your new vibration. They'll recognize your frequency instantly because it mirrors their own. These are your divine partnerships, the ones meant to amplify your purpose. Together, you'll build, create, and expand, not from competition, but from co-creation. And as these souls gather around you, you'll finally understand. You were never meant to rise alone, but to ascend together.